Beach area, and I had a few minutes. I'm having a van pick me up somewhere between 20 minutes from now to maybe 40 minutes, and so I have a few minutes, and I thought, oh, it'd be great to give you a bit of a chat, you know, about the area. I had to come down and take care of paying some bills today, and then I have to go to Tripler Army Medical Center right after this. And I went by Pearl Harbor. Always loved going by Pearl Harbor. I see the naval ships there, and I see the Arizona Memorial, and it's a beautiful place. So I go by there, and I really enjoy it. And that's on the way from our house to Waikīkī Beach area. And I'm going to kind of show you a little bit about the area here. I like, if I wanted to eat, I would go to the Rainbow Drive-In, which is just nearby where I'm at right now. It's the office that I had to pay some bills. And the Rainbow Drive-In has been here for probably 30 years, something like that. Been here a long time. And it's a family-owned place where they serve drive-in food. And it's a kind of an establishment in Hawaii. Really nice area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, again, I can't flip the camera. I don't know how to do it on my phone. There's got to be a way that works, but I don't see any toggle for that. So if I do it, I think I have to just kind of show you turn the camera, which actually is good because then it shows you also the writing correctly as opposed to being backwards. So I've got a few minutes and I'm going to show you. And also they have a Denny's on this road. They have the zoo. This road that I'm on takes you right to the Waikīkī Beach in about 10 minutes. But I'm actually not going to go there today. I'm just going to show you this area. And this is, they have a lot of little shops like this with restaurants and stores in it. And behind those shops is residential area. It's very nice. Actually, I thought about living down here, and I'm not against living down in this area. It's really keeps you busy, and it's a beautiful area. Diamond Head is straight ahead, but it's not quite the right time for me to be here in this area. Maybe later on, a few years from now, I'll move down in this area. I like it, and there's lots of shops here to go to. You're never bored, you know, and they have really nice beach. The Waikīkī Beach is really nice. So let me see if I can cross over here without getting run over. Like that person there is in the middle of the crosswalk. So how would I cross? Bad, bad driving. All right. And I'm going to cross over. You can, I can't really see what the picture is like for you. You know, when I do it on my telephone, like I'm doing now, what happens at the, I can't, I know it's a smaller screen than when I do the video from my laptop or my desktop, from my studio. You could call it studio. It's a bigger picture and it's a better quality picture, but I do the best I can, you know, and hope you appreciate it. This is, if you go straight down this road down there, about 5-minute walk, you come to a Denny's, and it's really one of the nicer Denny's I've been in. It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful street, right like 2 blocks from Waikīkī Beach. So it doesn't get any better than that. And you know, Denny's food is not the greatest, but actually it's not bad. It depends on what you order, right? And it's comfortable to sit there. It's good if you want coffee, you know, like you can drink coffee and they have Wi-Fi in there and things like that. Now, one thing I'm always careful on when I cross streets in Hawaii, I make sure I always look 2 or 3 times before I cross the street, because the streets here are, people sometimes, you know, there's a lot of tourists here that rent cars, and they're even from other countries. So they're not that familiar with driving, and the streets you have to be careful on when you cross. But, you know, you get something like this, guava smoked. You know, and there's all kinds of places just like that that are, you know, that's a Vietnamese, that's Saigon, supposedly. There's another one. Don't know what kind of food that is. Hawaii food. And so yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. This is a really good area. The zoo is straight ahead, and it's a very, very nice park there. A big park around the zoo area. That's very nice to go to. And then right across the street, that's probably one of the best beaches, the Waikīkī area, all the way up to Diamond Head. Really great beaches there. It's worth going to, but I'm not going to go over there today. I've been there so many times, you know, and I don't really want to kind of take the extra trip over there. I've actually done a video from isn't that nice? A nice, you know, because Hawaii has a monarchy before, so they have, I don't know what oh, this is the church. So, Episcopal Church. And you can see there's, you know, there's a lot of traffic. The virus here is not bad. And look at the flowers on that. You know, it's beautiful, isn't it? The flowers. I love it. Let me smell them. Yeah, they smell good too. So one thing you'll notice about Hawaii is you'll notice the air. The air is really fresh and also has a nice smell to it. Some areas are better than others because if you're surrounded by flowers, you know, this is like typical living in the Waikīkī area. And then they have tall buildings. Behind that are houses up there, up that street, houses. And like I say, I did look in this area for housing. I haven't ruled it out. That's all I can tell you for the future. Because, you know, you'll be busy. There's always things going on here. And if you want to find places to eat, this is the place. So, yeah, and there's a golf course right over there, right in Waikīkī area. The apartments you can see in the distance there, they're actually affordable because there's so much competition. Aloha shirts, $3.99, not bad. There's so much vintage. This is like a vintage store here, you know. There's so much competition in the Waikīkī area for the apartments, you know, they're condos. And so it drives the price down for living. So you can find a place with an ocean view, very affordable, right in the middle of Waikīkī. It's just a matter of whether people like it or not. Not everybody likes Waikīkī area. But I've stayed down there through the years quite a lot. Now we're coming into the Rainbow Drive-In. This is the place, you drive your car here and you park and you order your food. And the food is good and it's very inexpensive. Been here forever. And I'll show you. And then they have picnic tables back there where you can sit. You can see a lot of people aren't wearing masks, which is good. And we'll show you what they got here. See, you just come up, and if I wasn't going to Tripler, which I'd love to eat at, I would definitely eat here. The food is really good. I'm going to show you the menu, a bit of the menu, breakfast. You know, you can get like a double cheeseburger here for $3.95. That's cheap. Barbecue burger, $3.95. It fills you up. And I don't normally buy soda. You know, I won't pay the extra money because they overcharge. I just get a glass of water. That's free. And then they have the, you know, this is one of my favorite places to bring people to eat because it's very local. There's tourists come here too, but it's not that you don't see tourists here too much. These are not tourists. I don't know if they just don't know about it, you know, or they think they have to go to like an indoor restaurant kind of a place. But it's really a nice place. It's called Rainbow Drive-In, just 10 minutes walk from Waikīkī Beach. So if you're ever in this area, you know, come over. And you can walk here, you can drive here, you know. Isn't it great? There's the famous, and now what's a bit different about this place is they still own it. The people, the family that owns it, they still like own it, but they've opened up 2 or 3 additional drive-ins, and they're not the same. This is the original one. They have them around the island now because they're trying to make more money, I suppose. And you know, they've got it set up, but I don't think they would be the same. This one feels authentic to me. And one thing I'm going to show you right in front of the sign, unfortunately, there's this. Nobody can do anything about it. It's just garbage. And it's from the homeless people. And, you know, that's another topic I'm going to be doing a discussion on very soon. Because that's very sad. And what happens here is they don't do anything to the homeless people. They had a few years, somebody got arrested for being homeless, not in Hawaii. I'm not sure where it was in the U.S. And the case went to the Supreme Court of the U.S. And the Supreme Court ruled that people have a right to live. If they don't have a house, they have a right to live anywhere they want, something like that, in a public area. So they can't be charged with a crime. And then that's why there's so many homeless people here. And the police really don't do anything to stop it. So it's really a problem, I could say. Some areas are worse than others. It's not too bad in the Waikīkī area. You don't see it a whole lot, but it is here. So just say hi to everybody. Thank you for coming on. If you have a question or a comment, feel free to make it. Let me try to turn off this social chat overlay. I think I need to turn that off. Yay! I got rid of the chat function. I like to see the chats, you know, like where someone asks a comment, but it's not very common. People make comments or they ask a question, but I'd like it. If you did, it'd be nice. I can cross over real quick without getting hit. Have to do it quickly. Because like I say, the people aren't, when they're driving their cars, where they really in this area, they don't stop for you. But the golf course looks nice. I'm going to show you the golf course. I used to golf a lot, and I golfed every day for a summer. And I got reasonably good at it. I wasn't great, but I joined a club and I golfed, and every day from spring to fall. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's just not how I want to spend my time. But it's really amazing that they have a golf course like right here. And if I go down that way, you come to the zoo on the left, a great park. You come to the hotels, start going to the hotels, and at this road that we're on right here, that ends at Waikīkī Beach. So you go right to the beach, and not bad. Can't complain, you know. So Hawaii's good for me. It's not for everybody. You know, I love it at this state. I've always loved Hawaii. So even though I'm a bit older now, I'll be 65 in a few months. I even loved it when I was in my 20s. So, but it's not for everybody. But I feel free here, you know, and I feel happy here, and I like people here, and I like the beauty and the scenery. So and I like the food. The food is really great here. So all those things really add up. I follow along on the internet about what's happening around the world, especially Hong Kong every day. You know, if you're following, you can see my posts on Hong Kong, and I make comments, and I'm still in contact with lots of people there, and also following along with Ukraine, because it's so overwhelmingly wrong what happened there that need to be part of that, need to talk about it. But I think there's always two sides to every story. There are people who can say more about Russia. I have a lot of friends that are Russian, and there's people who can talk a lot more about, you know, why Russia went there to have a war, and they have their viewpoint. I can understand that. But to see buildings that are residential buildings being hit by missiles and bombs, people are just like living a normal life, that is wrong, totally wrong. And that's what's happening there. So I just cannot agree to that, no matter what their reasons are. That's just totally wrong. People are dying and suffering greatly. So I'm hoping God can intervene there, do a miracle, because I know that Russia is wrong to do that to those people. So yeah, I follow along with that. Today I have to, after in about 10 or 15 minutes, the van will come and pick me up, and then I'll go to Tripler and I'll have my lunch there. It is my favorite place to eat. You have to have an ID, a military or retired or special ID to be able to get on, because it's an army base. But I'm going to go there, and I love the food there. They have really good food. It's really a great price. It's like, you know, like half off, not even half. Something that in a restaurant would cost you $15, there will cost you like $6 or even less, $3 to $6. And food is excellent. And they have choices. So I love going there. Now, I did a video before on Tripler, so I'm not going to do it today. And, you know, you kind of watched and stuff. I wanted to do something that you haven't seen before, which is this area, the Waikīkī area. Just there, you probably can't see it in the distance, is Diamond Head. That's Diamond Head. You can see the mountain over the building. So if you go straight down that road right there, you go to Diamond Head. And that's like a national park. You can walk up into the Diamond Head, and when you get to the top of the mountain, it has a fabulous view of the ocean, the beach, Waikīkī, most of the island. Very nice. The weather here is very nice today. It's mostly nice here. I think it's around 65, middle of the daytime, maybe high 60s Fahrenheit. And yeah, so you can't complain about it, that's for sure. And yeah, so I'm very blessed, and I was able to live the life that I wanted to live pretty much all my life. And then this was part of it, was ending my life and my old age in this place. And I was able to do it. So very blessed to do that. And now we're praying that my family will be able to be here, because they have been here, but that's one in my life, because they're older now, you know, and I would love to see my whole family here, so we're together. But, you know, like everywhere, families are like that, you know, they don't always live next to their parents. And that includes like nieces and nephews. A lot of people want to live in Hawaii. They want to come here. And then I know enough to kind of help them figure out how to get here and how to live. Because jobs here are really easy to find. But, you know, you're not going to get rich unless you've got a really good profession that they need. You're just going to be able to pay your bills. live in a pretty nice place and live in Hawaii, but you're going to be working, you know. Jobs are really easy to find here. Everybody is hiring. In fact, I'm looking at the Starbucks right there. They have a big sign hanging on their window over there. It says now hiring, but that's everywhere. Starting pay starts about between 14, if you're hourly, between 14 and say 20, 24. I saw today Target is, I think they're hiring on this island for $24 an hour. No experience necessary. So, you know, but the rent here is a bit crazy. So it adds up. Yeah, I love it. And I hope you've enjoyed this time. I'm going to show you one more time. You see all these bikes. These are like all over the island. And they're like works of art. Well, I guess you put your bike next to it, and then because I can see a lock down there. But they're all over on the street, and you can't really sit on it. It's a work of art, but it's used as a bike place. You put your bike there and you lock it there, I guess, or maybe it's just a piece of work of art. So I saw these here like 20 years ago. They've been here for a time. Not bad, not bad. Now, normally the street is not this, well, on this road, it's a busy road. It's one of the main roads here in this island, part of the island. We're at the north end of Honolulu. And if you go straight down the road there that way, there's also a lot of nice restaurant shops there, all kinds of little shops, a shopping mall down there, like a Safeway grocery store, things like that. So yeah, it's good, you know. You see a lot of people here jogging, especially with their babies. I've already seen that happen 2 or 3 times, and no complaints. Guy over there, homeless. I've seen him for quite a long time now. That's where he lives. He lives right there, and nobody bothers him. I mean, it's kind of, I don't think that's a really positive thing, to be honest with you. I think it's not good for the society or the culture. And I was thinking about that earlier, you know, how I would disagree or agree with certain things about the homeless, because I do work with the homeless, you know, on this island, and I've gotten to know a lot of them, and I know their circumstance, the homeless circumstance. So another time I'll talk about that, because I really want to share with you about what I feel about this. It would surprise you, I think. Just because I work with homeless doesn't mean that I totally agree with everything. There's things I don't agree with at all. And yeah, not bad. Like I say, I'm just waiting for the van to come. When the van comes, it's off to Tripler. And Tripler is the Army Medical Center. That's where all the sisters go there for their medical needs. I go there too. That's where I'm going. The afternoon, I have a medical appointment there at 3 o'clock. But I'm going to go there and have lunch first. And I love the lunch. They're going to have pepper steak. They have fish and pepper steak, and I'm going to eat pepper steak and baby potatoes or something like that. So can't complain about that. Now tomorrow is interesting because I have to get ready for surgery. I have a colonoscopy. Again, the government's arranged all this for me. Colonoscopy where they're going to do, you know, look inside my colon to see if there's any, you know, polyps and things like that. It's going to be done at the doctor's office, but they're going to put me out to sleep, and then they're going to put a camera inside and take a look, just for preventative stuff. I'm supposed to do it once every 5 years at my age, I think. So it was about 5 years ago I had one done in communist Hong Kong, and they said, yeah, it's fine. So we'll do it again, and that's tomorrow. So I have to go to the doctor's. I have to begin the pre-operation procedure, which is like diarrhea. You take some kind of a drink and it makes you have diarrhea for like 24 or 30 hours, and then they look inside of you. So that will be that won't be fun for sure. But got to do it. And then I'll be out for another day. So I really won't be able to do much till Friday. I'll be out from Wednesday to Friday. And I'm going to try to maybe go look. I'm waiting to hear back about an answer for the new housing. I got my application in, and it appears there's no problem with that. I said, yeah, you got your housing, but I'm going to be, I'm having to wait for that, for the housing, because they're going through a procedure. And I might go to their office tomorrow to just ask how are things going, the manager, maybe. I don't want to pressure him too much because I know it takes a little time to go through the paperwork. But yeah, I'm ready to move. I'm ready. It's going to be a lot of work because you have to get the movers. The movers have told me they will come and move me, and I have to confirm it with them, and then move all the stuff that I have into a new place and rearrange all the furniture, hang up the pictures, but that's just part of it. It's not like it's a huge house or anything, but there'll be a 2 or 3 bedroom with I hope a good view. So yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Go over there and just see how the application is coming along, because the manager got COVID. I had met her last week, about a week ago, and she got COVID just around that time. So she actually had to stay in her house. She couldn't work, so the paperwork probably got held up, maybe, and don't know. That's why I'm gonna talk to her a bit. So thank you, and I'm gonna. If anybody has a comment or they want to tell where they're from, that would be great, because what that does is it encourages people, and I appreciate that. I have the van at 10 o'clock in 10 minutes, but they usually come 15 minutes before or 15 minutes afterwards. So you have like a half an hour where they can come, and I'm very blessed to be able to do that, because they did I have some back spinal injury problem, and that's the reason why I get to use that. So I'm very blessed about that. And they did an MRI, and they said, oh yeah, your spine is not quite right. And it kind of explains why I've had some pain in the past. That's, yeah, very blessed, It sure makes getting around the island a lot enjoyable. I call them up, they come get me, I pay them $2, and that's it. And I can go anywhere I want at any time, 24 hours a day. So pretty good. And very few people take it, get to use it. So very, very comfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna go back out and show you around. I hope you enjoyed the view of the Rainbow Drive-In, because the Rainbow Drive-In is really a good place. It really is a great place to go eat. And not everybody watching this is gonna come to Hawaii. If you ever do come to Hawaii, I think you'll enjoy it. But I definitely would suggest going there. And don't get the plate lunch. The plate lunch is like a huge amount of food, and it's more expensive. So you get like the smaller version of it, or a half. You ask for a half plate lunch. They actually do that, and it's half the price. And it's like normal amount of food for one person. Whereas if you don't know that trick, what they do is they give you a huge amount of food that you can't possibly eat at all. They charge you twice as much. So that's how they're making more money, right? They don't say anything about the half order. Yeah, that's a trick for Hawaii if you want to know. And I hope you've enjoyed this time. There's people down there a lot of people are skateboard here. They have skateboards, and they get around on a skateboard. I mean, they don't use it for like enjoyment. They use it to get around, kind of like a moped or a bicycle. So you do see skateboards pretty often here on the sidewalk. And yeah, people are coming. And because this is an outdoor area, you know, there's people that are like walking around, just walking around. You know, it's all like uh, it's a very enjoyable way to live because everything is outdoors, and that's what people think of. You know, oh, it's outdoors, so how are we're going to live like that? And you just enjoy life. You know, just enjoy life being outdoors. Mhm. Now, up here's a electric moped, very common. I don't particularly like them because I'm like, if you fall down and you're going pretty fast, you're gonna definitely be hurt, you know, and scraped up, and who knows, you know, it could be worse. Go to the hospital. So what would happen to your moped? You know, it'd be laying on the ground. You'd be like in the ambulance. But I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna get a moped. You know, I may get a bicycle, like a mountain bike here, and that would be nice. But you have to really be careful driving because they don't really. It's this island is not set up for bike riding. You know, like on the street and stuff. Even though they see that sign right there says bicycle, if you can see it on the street. Actually, the problem with that, if you think about it, that's where the cars are. Did you see the cars? So if you had a bicycle and you're right there, and the cars are also there, guess who wins if there's an accident? Not the bicycle. And that happens a lot on this island with bikes. So I would be really on the careful side with bikes here. You can ride them on the sidewalk. People don't seem to bother you if you're on a sidewalk, but also parks. Parks are okay. But yeah, I may get a bike because if I end up living in this particular area, there's not that much traffic and there's a lot of like neighborhoods with just houses. But then you have to be careful because people here don't, when they're driving, they don't really think about bikes, you know. So yeah, I don't really get how they call that a bike lane and show the sign right there. That's a car lane for sure, or a bus lane, right? See, like this guy here is driving down the supposed bicycle lane. No, I don't think so. See, there's a guy on a bike right there. So, you know, the people have the right on the sidewalk, not the bicycles. So the bicycles are kind of at a disadvantage on the sidewalk, I could say. And on the street, it's the cars have the advantage, not the bicycles. So the only time that a bicycle has an advantage here is bike lane in a park, and they're almost impossible to find. Yeah. Look at that place over there. Oh, hey, the musical instruments. And I've got a really good friend of mine who wants me to look at musical instruments for him. And I just noticed that across the street. I've been here a few times before, but it says new and used musical instruments. So I don't have time because the van is coming. See, there's the bikes right there now. Can you imagine how dangerous that is? You're on a bike and the cars are zipping by you. Not safe at all, you know. No. And but anyway, getting back to the music. So yeah, I've got a friend that loves musical instruments, and that's like I'm definitely going to go there and the next time I come up here and look at what they have inside there. You never know; they might have exactly what he's looking for. Musical instruments called Good Guys, and it's got a sign that says open. So not bad. But the comment I was going to make was that building at the top of that building. I would guess that's residential up there on the top floor, and that they have a really nice balcony. Only thing I wouldn't like about that is the noise because you're right next to the main road here. and wouldn't like that. But maybe it has a pretty good view up there. Another thing that would be interesting to do sometime with you is go to Diamond Head. You know, that'd be nice. That area. So yeah, life's good. Can't complain. My heart is really broken over what I see happening around the world in different things. I mean, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe God has the answer, no matter how tough the things are. There are solutions through Christ, and I believe that with all my heart. So even though things can be really tough, you don't want to get discouraged. Doesn't mean that you ignore them. You know, you don't sit under a tree and just say, "Oh, everything's going to be perfect. Apple's going to fall off right in front of me, and I'm going to eat it," or something like that. You know, no, you do know what's happening, and you do need to be realistic about life. You know, don't put yourself in dangerous situations. Try to help people. Those are all great things to do as a Christian or as anybody. But so I do pay attention to what's happening in the world. There's another homeless person coming. I'm going to kind of show you what's happening here, because I'm trying to show you the homeless. See, the reason there's so many homeless in Hawaii, I think there's three reasons actually. One is that the government makes it easy for people to survive by giving them free money and free food. So they make it really easy for people to survive here. The second thing is that it's easy to here. It's easy to live outside because of the weather. You never have a problem. You just find a place to sleep on the grass and you go to sleep. So that makes it really easy. And then the third reason, let's see, I forgot. There's two. I gave you two reasons. Well, can't remember the third reason, but there are homeless here. And so I think that could be diminished. And most of the homeless people here, because they get free food and free, well, you can get free medical care if you don't have any money. But the reason that they're able to work, I would say 80% of the people who are homeless are of the age where they could work, and they look healthy. And they just choose not to work because it's easier not to work and get money from the government. So I think that could be solved, but you know, that's beyond me. I'm not a politician really, or I'm not even sure that you could get people to agree to it who are homeless. But I know the people who are working and are not homeless, they don't particularly like what's happening, including me, and I work with the homeless. So there you go on that. You know, I'm always amazed when I meet people that are really healthy looking or just average healthy looking. Now, it's one thing if you're talking about elderly, you're talking about disabled people, you know, that's a different scenario. But, you know, people are like coming up and asking for money from me or food, and they like are healthier than I am. And they're like young, 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm like, what the heck? And here you can get jobs like very easily. Everywhere is looking for employees. And you know, what goes through my mind is, and I've actually said this homeless, why don't you go to McDonald's? You know, they're paying $14 an hour or something. Why don't you go there? And then they just blow me off. They say, oh, well, you know, I've gone, you know, I worked before and I work. Yeah, it's just a lie. And they have no way to answer it. Oh, here comes my van, maybe. So I have to get ready here. If so, I'm going to turn off. Okay. Oh, no, that's a tourist van. That's what my van looks like. But that's a tourist van. Yeah, so that kind of upsets me a bit, because I get a lot of people that will come up and say, do you got $1? You know, and I'm like, what the heck? And I look at them and they're like, healthy. I'm like, why don't you work? I mean, the Bible is really clear about that. People who don't work don't eat. The Bible has a verse like that. I agree with that. Okay. So, but then there's, there are certain circumstances where as you need to be understanding and sympathetic, and elderly people, disabled people, probably those would be the two, I would say. So I hope you've enjoyed this time. I've gotten a little bit of a stream going here. I appreciate it. I'm not going to do any more tomorrow. We'll see about tomorrow. And I hope you've enjoyed it. So I always enjoy seeing everybody online and listening in. I've talked to people before who actually listen to these, and they're not online, but they listen to them later, and then they tell me what is in the video, and I'm like, oh, that makes me feel pretty good, So thank you very much for watching, and feel free to make comments. Most importantly is share, share so that people can know about it, and talk about, I'll try to find more interesting topics for you later on. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you later. Again, this is the Waikīkī area and the Rainbow Drive-In. Oh, and before I go, I want to show you that one across the street. That's kind of a landmark building there. That's a chain of it's something like a Denny, but it's Hawaiian style. And they have different designs on the buildings, but that's called Zippy's. And Zippy is Hawaiian food, but kind of along the line of a Denny's or something like that. And, everybody in Hawaii knows. So I don't particularly like the food there, but, that's kind of the go-to place for local people. If they're looking for a Denny's, they won't go to Denny's, but they will go to Zippy's. So I thought I'd show that to you, Zippy's. So take care, everybody, and have a good day. Love you.